With theft, we look at the value of the property stolen to determine the seriousness of the offense. All offense levels, except for capital felonies, are represented within the theft statute, so we will use the value of the property to determine the offense level for this particular crime. When looking at value, we're typically either looking at fair market value or the replacement cost for the item or property. Today, I will go over the general guidelines for theft and then identify a couple of examples of enhancements in which the crime is elevated despite a lower property value. Theft is a Class C misdemeanor if the value of the property is less than $100. Theft is a Class B misdemeanor if the value of the property is $100 or more, but less than $750. Theft is a Class A misdemeanor if the value of the property is $750 or more, but less than $2,500. Theft is a state jail felony if the value of the property is $2,500 or more, but less than $30,000. Theft is a third-degree felony if the property value is $30,000 or more, but less than $150,000. Theft is a second-degree felony if the value of the property is $150,000 or more, but less than $300,000. And theft is a first-degree felony if the value of the property is $300,000 or more. As I mentioned before, there are several exceptions to these rules in which the crime is elevated despite a lower property value. For example, if the property stolen is a driver's license, regardless of a lower value, the offense level will be elevated to a Class B misdemeanor. If the property stolen is a firearm, regardless of the lower value, the offense level will be elevated to a state jail felony. If the property stolen is cattle, horses, exotic livestock, regardless of a lower value, the offense level is elevated to a third-degree felony. And a final example, if the property is stolen by a public servant and the property came into the actor's possession by virtue of his role as a public servant, the offense level will be elevated to the next highest offense level. So, for example, value within the Class A range, which is $750 to $2,500, if it's stolen by a public servant, the offense would be elevated to a state jail felony.